You've probably heard of a pre-approval for a home loan, but exactly what is a pre-approval and why would you bother getting one? This video is going to talk about the two types of pre-approvals available and the 6 reasons you still might not get the loan that you were pre-approved for. So firstly, what is a loan pre-approval? In simple terms, this is when you approach a lender to get something semi-official from them that indicates how much they're likely to lend you based on the type of loan that you're after. So what are the two types of pre-approvals? The first type is an instant approval that you can get online or by visiting your local lender. They use a basic calculator to review your income and expenses, and then they spit out an indicative figure that they think you could borrow. But be really clear though, this type of pre-approval has not gone through the lender's credit approval team and is really just a rough indication of what you could borrow. So what you really want is a pre-approval that has gone to the credit team and been assessed properly. This type is more likely to be honoured by the lender when you need it. They'll do several of the steps of the loan approval process ahead of time, which does two things. So one, it can speed up the process when you're ready to go for a full approval. And this is because they've already done things like a credit check, an identity check and so on. And two, it allows them to say with a higher degree of confidence how much they will actually lend you. So, is this an absolute guarantee of what they'll lend you? No, absolutely not. Don't think of a pre-approval as any sort of guarantee, as the pre-approval will usually come with a list of conditions that need to be met so the pre-approval can be honoured. And that brings us to the 6 reasons that your pre-approval might still be declined. So reason 1, the security property is unacceptable. The issue is that all properties are not deemed acceptable securities by all lenders. So for example, if the property is in a flood zone or in a bushfire zone, they're problematic for lenders. So are units under 50 square metres or hobby farms, and there are a bunch of other reasons as well. So if you end up trying to purchase a property that doesn't meet the lender's criteria, you may well find yourself unable to get the loan that you were hoping for. Reason number 2, the pre-approval has expired. Most lenders will give a pre-approval for 3 to 6 months. If you don't apply for a full application in that time, then your pre-approval will expire and you'll need to start again. Reason 3, your circumstances have changed. So pre-approvals are given based on your circumstances, your income, your expenses, credit card limits and so on. If your circumstances change, lenders will recalculate your borrowing capacity based on your new circumstances. If you no longer meet their lending criteria or their lending policy, your loan will be declined. Reason number 4, the lender's policies changed. So lenders have restrictions on how much they can lend for construction loans, for interest only, and for each type of loan that they make. To help them keep within their limits, they regularly update their lending policy. So for example, they may say that the maximum repayments a borrower might have is 30% of their income. Next month, just to keep within their limits, they might say that the maximum repayments are 29% of income. And in this case, you'll not be able to borrow as much. Some lenders will honour a pre-approvals that are given before their policy changes, and others will insist that the loan meets their new lending policies. You'll just have to find out when you go in. Reason number 5, interest rates have increased. So borrowers often ask, how much can I borrow when they're looking for their pre-approval? So this means they'll be given a maximum amount they can borrow based on the current interest rates. And the lenders are basically saying, this is the maximum amount we think you can pay without going into financial difficulties. If interest rates go up, repayments will go up also, and the lenders may then assume that you cannot afford to pay back the same amount of money. Reason number 6, the lender's mortgage insurer provider declines your home loan. So your bank may approve the loan, but if your loan amount is more than 80% of the property value, then the bank may need approval from their lender's mortgage insurer as well, which is their LMI provider. If the LMI provider finds an issue with your application for any reason, they could be the cause that your application is declined. So why get a pre-approval then with all these issues with them? The main reason is that despite of it not being an ironclad guarantee of how much you can borrow, it's still a good guide. It means you can begin your property search with a realistic expectation of how much you can borrow and then not waste your time researching and visiting properties that are outside your budget. And it can make a difference to some vendors if they know you have a pre-approval. They'll treat you as a more serious buyer, and in some cases they may accept an offer below what they're asking if they feel that they can get a quicker settlement because the finance is already sorted. From their perspective, it may be better to accept an offer of, say, $500,000 with no finance clause than an offer of, say, $510,000 or $520,000 but subject to finance. The final point to make on pre-approvals is that it can help you if you're looking to bid at auction. Under a normal property sale, there's a 2-day cooling off period, which basically means you have 2 clear business days in which you can rescind or cancel your offer. No reason has to be given and you can just change your mind. However, in an auction scenario, there's no cooling off period. If you're the winning bidder, then you're contractually obliged to proceed with the purchase, regardless of whether you get your finances sorted or not. So it's absolutely critical that your finances are sorted and you're confident you can fulfill the financial obligations of the sale. A pre-approval can give you this confidence. If you're interested in getting either an indicative or a formal pre-approval for a home loan and would like some help to do so, my contact details are in the description below and I'd love to help guide you through that process. It's an excellent first step in the borrowing process as you'll learn a lot about loan options as well as beginning the process of getting your paperwork in order ready for when you upgrade to a real loan application. As always, I hope you've learned something and enjoyed the video. If so, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channels to see new videos as they come out each week. Check out the description below to find a link to my website and my contact details if you'd like to find out how I can help you in getting a loan. I look forward to seeing you again next week for the next video, and as always, until then, happy house hunting.